Welcome to Learn English with Lucy. I'm so happy you're here today. I'm going to tell you something very personal, something that changed my life completely. This is not just a story. This is not just a lesson. This is a voice from the heart, full of fire, full of hope, and full of power. Today, I will take you on a journey of transformation, of pain, of joy, and of revenge in the most beautiful way. A revenge not with anger, but with success. A revenge not with hate, but with hard work and sweet satisfaction. This is the story of how I practiced English in the mirror every day, and how that small act helped me find my voice, my power, and my future. So sit back, open your heart, and listen carefully, because this might be your story too. My name is Rachel. I live in a small town in Texas. I was the girl no one believed in, the girl who failed every time she spoke in English, the one people laughed at, ignored, or corrected without kindness. Every time I opened my mouth to speak English, people looked at me with those eyes. You know the eyes I'm talking about, those eyes that say, "You don't belong here." It hurt. It hurt so much I would go home, cry into my pillow, and promise myself I would never speak again. But deep inside, something kept whispering, "You can. You must. You will." That whisper turned into a voice. That voice turned into a fire. And one day, I looked in the mirror, and I decided to fight back. Not with words to others, but with words to myself. I stood in front of my mirror, and I said, "Rachel, we are going to speak. We are going to practice. We are going to become fluent in English, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many mistakes we make." And from that day on, every single morning and every single night, I spoke to myself in the mirror. I started with simple phrases. "Hello, how are you? My name is Rachel. Today I will go to the market." I looked into my own eyes and said the words slowly, clearly, with love and patience. I didn't care if I made a mistake. I didn't care if it sounded strange. I just kept talking. At first, it was hard. My voice was shaking. My words were broken. My confidence was very low. But every day, I saw my eyes getting stronger, my voice getting louder, my fear getting smaller. I watched myself grow. I saw the girl in the mirror change, not just in English, but in life. I saw her become brave. I saw her smile again. I saw her dream again. One day, I told a small story in the mirror. I talked about my childhood, about my dreams, about the people who told me I would never learn English. I said, "They told me I was too slow. They laughed at my accent. They said I would never be good enough." But as I told that story, my voice didn't shake anymore. My hands didn't sweat. I looked at my own eyes and I said, "Watch me now." That moment changed everything. That moment became my secret power. Practicing in the mirror gave me freedom. It gave me a safe space where no one judged me. No one corrected me harshly. No one made me feel small. I became my own teacher, my own cheerleader, my own best friend. And slowly, my English started to sound more natural. I started to think in English. I started to dream in English. I started to feel fluent, not just with words, but with emotion. Because English is not only grammar and vocabulary, it's courage, it's expression, it's saying what's in your heart, even when your voice is not perfect. If you are scared to speak English, let me tell you something. You are not alone. I was scared too. I was broken too. But you don't have to stay that way. Start with one sentence in front of the mirror. Just one, then another. Look at your face. Watch your lips move. Feel the words. Speak them with love, with power, with honesty. Say things like, I am learning. I am growing. I am strong. These small sentences will become your armor. Your voice will become your sword. And one day, someone will hear you speak and say, wow, your English is so good. And you will smile, not because of their words, but because you will remember all the silent nights you stood in front of your mirror and built that voice with your own hands. I didn't have expensive classes. I didn't go to America or England. I didn't have native speakers around me. But I had something more important. I had desire. I had discipline. I had my mirror. And that was enough. That was more than enough. I practiced my job interview in front of the mirror. I practiced restaurant conversations, phone calls, meetings. I even practiced arguments and deep talks. I became a different person. I became the version of me I had always dreamed of. And when I finally got a job where English was required, I looked back and smiled. Because that job was my revenge. That fluency was my victory. That confidence was my prize. So if you are watching this today and you feel like giving up, please don't. Please don't quit on your dream. Use the mirror. Speak to yourself. Love yourself through the process. And remember, English is not just about speaking to others. It's about speaking to yourself, believing in yourself, and becoming who you were always meant to be. I remember one day clearly. It was raining outside. I was sitting in my small bedroom, feeling tired, lost, and confused. My English had improved a little, but I still couldn't speak fluently in front of others. I felt like a failure again. I looked at my mirror and saw my tired face. My heart was heavy. I whispered to myself, is this even working? Will I ever speak English well? But then I saw something in my eyes, something I couldn't ignore. It was not fear. It was not sadness. It was fire, a silent fire that refused to die. And in that moment, I made a choice. I stood up. I wiped my tears. I looked straight into the mirror and said, yes, I will continue. I will speak better. I will speak strong, no matter what. no matter who doubts me, no matter how many times I fall. And that was the night everything changed. From that day, I started to add emotions to my mirror practice. I didn't just say sentences, I acted them out. If I was happy, I showed happiness. If I was angry, I practiced speaking with strong emotion. If I was nervous, I acted nervous and learned how to calm my voice. It became more than just practice. It became a performance. And little by little, I stopped being scared of speaking English in real life. Why? Because I had already spoken it in the mirror 100 times. My brain was ready. My heart was strong. My body had already practiced. I want to give you some powerful tips that changed my mirror practice and made me fluent faster. These are not magic tricks. These are real, powerful, and proven by experience. First, always speak in full sentences. Don't just say words. For example, don't say just coffee. Say, I would like to have a cup of coffee. This helps your brain learn the rhythm and structure of real conversation. Second, record your voice while you speak in the mirror. Then listen to it. This will help you hear your mistakes, your pauses, your strengths. It's like being your own coach. Third, copy real conversations from movies or YouTube and act them out in the mirror. You can pretend you are part of that movie. Speak like the actors. Feel the emotions. This will help your pronunciation, tone, and confidence. Another tip that helped me a lot: pretend you are giving a speech in front of a big crowd. Speak in the mirror like you are standing on a stage. Say things like, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to share my story." This kind of practice trains your brain to speak with power, clarity, and control. Even if your words are simple, your voice will sound confident. And people love confidence more than perfection. Also, use your body while speaking. Use your hands. Move your eyes. Smile. All of these things connect your words to your emotions. And when that happens, your English becomes alive. It becomes real. People don't just hear you, they feel you. And that is true fluency. That is true magic. Now let me tell you something important. Practicing in the mirror is not just for beginners. I still do it today. Yes, even now, after years of speaking English fluently, I still go to my mirror, look into my eyes, and speak. Why? Because the mirror is my safe place, my truth, my strength. It reminds me where I came from. It reminds me that I built my English voice alone, from nothing, with love, pain, and fire. And that reminder gives me power every single day. There was one moment that I will never forget. I was invited to speak at a community event in Dallas. There were over 100 people in the room. I was nervous. My hands were shaking. But before I walked to the stage, I went to the restroom, looked into the mirror, and said, You've practiced this 100 times. You know this. You are ready. I smiled, took a deep breath, and stepped on stage. And when I started speaking, the words came out with ease, like a river that had been waiting to flow. People listened. They clapped. Some even cried. That night, I went home, looked into the mirror, and whispered, "We did it." It was the most beautiful revenge I ever had. Not against people, but against fear, against shame, against the voice that once told me, "You'll never make it." I made it. And now, I want you to make it too. Don't wait for someone to help you. Don't wait for the perfect class, or the perfect teacher, or the perfect moment. The mirror is waiting for you. Your voice is waiting for you. Stand in front of it today. Start small. Stay consistent. Love the process. And every time you speak, speak like someone who is becoming the best version of themselves. Because you are. This is my story. This is my voice. And now it's your turn. Go stand in front of your mirror. Speak your truth. Build your future. And one day, when someone asks you, "How did you learn to speak English so well?" you will smile with satisfaction and say, "Every single day I practiced in front of the mirror, and that mirror helped me find my voice, my power, and my life." Thank you for listening to my story on Learn English with Lucy. Now go and speak like the world is yours, because it is.